Good morning. Tammi C. Walker, the owner of Dreams Are a Reality. I created this channel to provide light, love. How you doing? How you doing? You know what, you all? I'm doing good. I'm at the end of the work week. Praise ye the Lord. I shouldn't say that because I work on Saturday. I actually work on Sunday this weekend. I'm working too much, you all. I have to confess, when it comes to my clients, I can have bad boundaries at times. I really want to help them, and it seemed like this year, really since COVID, but I'm not even going to say only this year. I've been busy, nonstop. It's such a blessing, honestly. It is. It really is. And it seems like the last 3 weeks or so, I had old clients come back. So that's what's really filled up my case. And I love my clients. I'll be trying to help you all, but I got to help myself. So I do have some days off coming up, thank God. And I'll be taking some off in June. So yeah, I'm getting there. All righty, everybody. Today, I want to talk about how to get through a bad time. What separates the people who can push through versus the ones who cannot? And there's not any shade to those that cannot. But sometimes we're so bogged down with stress, we just can't move. We're stuck. You know what they say, paralysis, analysis. You have so many problems. Maybe your bills are behind. Maybe you're faced with a health challenge. Maybe you went through a divorce or a breakup. Maybe you have a job you hate. Maybe you have a strained relationship with your family members. It could be so much that people go through. And we never really know what someone is going through. All of us are either in a struggle, just got out of a struggle, are going to face a struggle. And what I've noticed about the people that take a licking and they keep on ticking, they have that innate ability to go to the solution, not the problem. I consider myself one in that group. I may be down, but I'm not out. Some days it feels like I'm on top of the world. Some days it feels like the world is on top of me. I know what has helped me is not to face that problem. Definitely go straight to the solution. But I do give myself a chance to process things. I don't panic. That's my key. I don't panic. Yeah, I panicked when my little sister was in the hospital. I'm going to panic because when somebody tell me that a 45-year-old woman has to have emergency abdominal surgery, that's concerning. That's not normal. So I knew something was fishy. A typically healthy woman, but she's doing very well, thanks be to God. But that scared me. Plus, we lost our parents, so I know my older sister probably feels like me. I feel like, our parents are looking down on us, and we got to look out for each other. So, anyway, that's that. Okay, so when I had cancer, when I was first diagnosed, I know y'all sick of me talking about it. I have to because it's the biggest thing that ever happened to me. Bad, in a bad way, but turned out for good. At first, when I was told about it, I went straight to the cancer. And I never thought I was going to die because I knew a lot of breast cancer survivors, and my mother was one of them. So that gave me great hope. So I didn't feel like I was going to die. I just didn't know, what does that look like for me, breast cancer. Then when they said it's real aggressive, okay, now we got a bigger problem. Then they said, you may not be able to have kids after all this chemo. And that was hard to take. And my take on that was, if I want to have kids, let me make that choice, not have that choice taken away. So I had to wrap my mind around that. Initially, I wasn't too happy. Needless to say, who would be, okay? But by the second, third week, I was like, you know what? What you gonna do, girl? What's your choices? And I was at the best hospital in Chicago, to me, Northwestern. I had a great doctor and a great team of doctors, and I'm thinking like, let's get it. You know, when they told me what all I had to do, I was like, well, focus on the treatment, getting through it, and getting to the other side. And it was hard. I'm not gonna lie, it was hard, but I made it, and here am I. And it happened again. It's not funny because it was not funny when that happened again. It happened again in 2012, 2013. First time in 2007. And then here we go again. I was like, this cannot be happening. But I wasn't surprised. I had been really stressed after being a caregiver for my mom and after she passed away. Yeah, that caused a lot of stress. Stress is not good for you all. Stress is not good for you all. Regardless, cancer, lupus, diabetes, high blood pressure, MS. It doesn't matter what your illness is. Stress is not good. Even if you don't have an illness, some stress is not good. Like stress, like, worrying stress. That's not good. Oh, let's see. Some other people, that made me stress just talking about that. Some other people, like me and my sisters, when we lost our dad, I didn't do good. Our dad was the pillar of our family. He was a man's man, real man. None of that little boy energy. My dad was old school. And he ran the house. He paid the mortgage. He cut our grass. He went to the grocery store. He took us to work. He took us to school. He picked us up from work. He picked us up from school. He was that dad. Did our road trips to Mobile, Alabama, Nashville, Tennessee. He was the glue to his siblings. He kept everything together. My dad wasn't outgoing. He was more introverted, but he still did his thing. So when he passed away, we fell apart within reason. That was a tough time. Really affected me in a very bad way. And I was going through a divorce, so I barely made it through that time, you all. I really went through a lot of hell. It took me years, but I fought like hell to get through the depression, the grief. Oh, it was so sad. It was one of the worst times in my life, for sure. And it took me years, 1999 through 2006. That's a long time to be in the wilderness. But I tried, you all. I kept going to therapy. I would go to Borders Books. I would be in the self-help aisle reading books. I fought like hell. I went to church, sang in a choir, read my Bible, tried. Until one day, 06, 07, it was like the light came on in the house. And I was like, So let me get this right. If I believe, I will receive. Okay. And if I think positive, my life is going to improve. All right. And that's what I began to do. I was like, I'm going to think positive. I'm going to think about the things I desire and deserve, not what I don't have. If I have a problem, I'm going to fix it and not complain about it. But what can I do to fix that? I'm going to have a plan A and a B and a C and a D. And that's when my life began to change for the better. Of course, I was diagnosed with cancer, so that wasn't for the better. But I was able to face it with a smile by week 3 or 4 after learning that I was diagnosed with this. By the way, I was only 36 years old. Healthy as a horse. The doctor said, besides cancer, you can run a marathon. You got nothing wrong. 0% body fat. That's where I was at 36. But that's when my life began to get better, right before that diagnosis. And with the exception of getting sick again and losing my mom, which was big, which was big, 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 big. In 2012, life has been better and better. Life has been better and better. I had a loving relationship. I got my master's in social work. I moved into a very nice apartment that I love. I live in a nice community. I work for a great organization. I've been in private practice under someone since 2018, about to start my own practice. My YouTube channel finally hit 1,000. I began to stay at 5-star hotels. I don't talk about that too much. I'm not a bragger, you all. But boy, I sure had some fun on the beach of Fort Lauderdale staying in a top-tier hotel. Once I did that, I was like, okay, this is how the other people live. Always try to stay in a 5-star hotel if you can. Just get that experience. It feels so good. Oh, man, that's a good feeling. I'm going to do it again, too. I had a therapist who changed my life. That's why I'm a therapist, Lily Delaney, downtown Chicago. Beautiful soul from Mississippi. Lily said, when I go to Vegas, I only stay at the Bellagio. I said, I know that's right, Lily. I haven't stayed there yet, but I always stay at the Venetian. I try. That's where me and my ex used to stay. We had a ball. I thought I was living large. In conclusion, you all, no matter what's going on in your life, and I know it's easy for me to say, and when I speak like that, sometimes I'm not really talking about losing somebody you love. They pass away. That's a hard one. What I suggest if you're going through grief, always get support. Always go to therapy. Because we live in a microwave society. People, they'll check on you, and I'm guilty too, as charged. They'll check on you the first few weeks, but after that, they're going to fade out, and you're going to be stuck with your grief. Go to Amazon.com and purchase a grief workbook, or go to your EAP provider, that's Employee Assistance Program, with your job. Typically, you get 5 to sometimes maybe even as much as 10 free sessions. Use those for your grief and go longer. It's hard to lose your mom, your dad, a sibling. People don't talk about the sibling loss. That's got to be terrible. That's like your friend if you're close to them. I don't even like talking about losing kids. That's a heavy one. But it happens, most unfortunately. Get the support you need. If it's financial, it's a numbers game. Always do your budget and see where you stand. The numbers will never lie to you. Do the snowball effect on your credit cards. If you got a lot, I got to start paying down mine, so I'm doing it. Do it, and each month you'll see progress. If you're at a job you hate, can you look internally and find something else? Can you contract? Sometimes if you're making, let's say per hour, $27 per hour. As a contractor, you might get $35. People think contracting is bad. It's really not, because sometimes they'll hire you for 6 to 12 months. You get a 401k, you get benefits. A lot of these contract places, they have benefits in place. So look into it before you say, I don't want that. You can consult and name your price. If you have a job you hate, as soon as you get off, as soon as you punch out, as soon as your foot hits the ground and you're off, go shine. Go do your hobby. Go run. Go play tennis. Go play volleyball. Go for a swim. Get in your basement and tune up your guitar. Get you a good book to read. Go to YouTube. Look at some motivational videos. Pray. Meditate. Journal. Soon as you get off, look at it as your time to shine. That's how I treated it when I had jobs I hated. I would get off, I'd be like, boom, this is my time. And from 5 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., Tammi time. Tammi going to be watching the Bulls. I'm going to be journaling. I'm going to be on the phone giggling. I might get my favorite meal. Whatever it is to make you smile. If you're at a job you hate, you counteract that with living your best life when you get off. Treat it as a means to an end. And I know, because I got that from my friend Shauna, because I would be complaining to her about all the jobs I hated, and I had a lot of them. And she'll say, Tammy, it's just a means to an end. I still hear like the words my friends gave me, the advice. I still hear the words my mother gave me. The very few words my dad gave me. He wasn't a big talker. But you got to go to the solution, not the problem. That's the difference between the people that never stop versus the ones that give up. Don't give up. Giving up is not an option. That means you quit. No need to quit, because every problem you have, somebody else has experienced what you've gone through and even more. But I think the key is to get that support from somewhere. And if you can't get it from a friend, a spouse, a partner, a family member, co-worker, minister, mentor, that's where therapists come in. And if you get a bad one, you fire him or her and you get another one. And if they're bad, you fire him or her and you get another one until you get one you click with. I had to do it. I had picked two. I had a few sessions with one lady. I know I said in conclusion, I'm still talking. I had picked the one lady and she kept talking about herself. She knew I was a therapist, so she kept throwing her stuff in. No, baby. Bye-bye. Rude receptionist. Whew, I'm so tired of rude customer service. That's just ridiculous. The second one I was going to pick, she wasn't paying me any attention. She was like it was a consultation, and looked like she was, I don't know if she was looking on her phone. I don't care what she was doing. I was like, no, she can't help me. She can't help me, so the one I have is golden. So fire those bad therapists and keep going till you get a new one. Alrighty, you all. I hope something I said helped. You don't give up now. You got to keep going. It's going to get better. One day you're going to look up, it'll be better. And sometimes it's sooner than later. Drop me comments. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for the support. You all really liked that last video. They're going to miss you when you're gone. They are. Mark my word on that one too. Tammi Sharice Walker signing off. Bye-bye.